What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to Too Much Tech. And in today's video, we're going to be taking a quick look at the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini. This is the wireless variant, which does sell for about $240. But if you are willing to leave your keyboard plugged in and not have the wireless version, you can save a bit of money and get the wired version for $180. The 2.4 gigahertz dongle that is also USB Type-C, as well as the extender for the receiver. This end also does have USB Type-C, so basically you're going to be using this with this cable on your desk, so you will just plug it in like this and then have it a little bit further away from your keyboard to get the best connection for the 2.4 gigahertz wireless connection. And then you also will have a keycap puller as well. And let's go ahead and start off talking about the keycaps of the Apex Pro Mini Wireless. These keycaps are finally double shot PBT, and I don't know what took SteelSeries so long to put double shot PBT on their higher end keyboards, especially for $240. This thing better have double shot PBT keycaps. But on the Apex Pro Mini, you do have double shot PBT keycaps, which is pretty nice, and you no longer have the need or want to have to swap out the keycaps themselves. As far as the switches, these are using SteelSeries new and updated OmniPoint 2.0 switches that allow for a minimum actuation of 0.2 millimeters and a maximum actuation of 3.8 millimeters. So this type of feature, again, is very popular with people that like to play a lot of Twitch shooters, that like to play games like Fortnite, where you need to do a lot of inputs and very quickly and get them all correct. And more or less, this keyboard truly allows you to be as fast as you possibly can be in game. I have not gamed with this keyboard in wire mode because honestly there is no need to. The 2.4 gigahertz connection is incredibly fast, and I really don't notice the difference between using this wirelessly and using the Wooting keyboard. And I have been using the Wooting HE60 quite a bit over the past couple of months, and there are definitely some key differences that you guys should be aware of when going for the Apex Pro Mini compared to the Wooting 60HE. So number one, the key switches are set up quite differently. So all of the switches on the SteelSeries keyboard are all soldered in, so you cannot move them, but they do have large LED bulbs as well, which is why I'm pretty sure that SteelSeries had to come out with their own versions of double shot PBT keycaps, but we'll talk about the lighting in just a minute. On the Wooting keyboard, you do have north facing or south facing switches using these proprietary Gateron Lecker switches, and these are also analog and give you a very similar effect to what the SteelSeries keyboard offers. Now obviously the trade-off between the Apex Pro Mini Wireless and the Wooting, not only in the price, because the Wooting is $180 and so is the standard version of the Apex Pro Mini, but if you want wireless connectivity, then obviously you have to go to the Apex Pro Mini Wireless for that $240. And again, no performance issues with the wireless connections. Obviously the Wooting keyboard is going to be a lot more customizable because you can pull out those switches, change them from north facing to south facing orientation, put your own custom keycaps on if you would like, and you can also case swap the Wooting keyboard as well. Now personally, I didn't really enjoy my experience case swapping the Wooting keyboard, so I decided to stick with the stock case. But honestly speaking, if you're not too crazy about the sound profile, I'm gonna say that the sound is pretty similar between both the SteelSeries keyboard and the Wooting 60HE. Now again, since this is the Apex Pro Mini Wireless, you do have a USB Type-C port, the 2.4 gigahertz connection, wired mode is going to be in the middle, and you also do have a Bluetooth mode as well, so you can use Bluetooth to connect to something like a laptop or whatever if you just want to leave your dongle at home and game on the go. But personally, I would just bring the dongle with you, because when you switch over to that Bluetooth connection, you're going to be using a much laggier connection that is going to be fine for typing, but not necessarily the best and quickest connection when it comes to gaming. I do have one complaint about the RGB lighting, and it's not the lighting effects that I have complaints about, but it's just the fact that the bulbs of the RGB lights just do not seem that bright, and that kind of bothers me because at this point I might as well just turn the RGB lights off because they just don't seem that bright, vibrant, and colorful. And maybe it was that way on the older SteelSeries Apex Pro that honestly I no longer have. It's been a couple of years since that keyboard release, and I just didn't find that I needed it myself. I'm just kind of disappointed with the lighting on this keyboard. I just feel like it should be a lot brighter. As far as the build quality and features of the keyboard, honestly, you're not really going to be moving this thing around that much, but just holding the keyboard and moving it around, you can definitely tell that this is some pretty creaky plastic. So it is definitely not the most premium built, and especially in comparison to the previous Apex Pro, I was a lot more impressed with the build quality of that keyboard and less the horrible keycap quality on the previous Apex Pro using those ABS keycaps. But I'm just glad that we have double shot PVT keycaps. I don't really notice any of the creaking obviously when I just have it set on my desk, so it's not really that big of a deal. But I do still want to mention that they could do a little bit better when it comes to the construction of the keyboard, especially for $240. You do also have these rubberized feet on the bottom and then a couple of levels of height adjustment. These days I've just been really used to using keyboards at their lowest height when it comes to gaming and just comfort, but it is nice that they have adjustable height. Now, of course, in the SteelSeries engine, you can go through and change those actuation points and things like that, and I honestly do feel like it is a negligible difference between having this keyboard and having the Wooting 60HE. Now, the Wooting does have an advantage when it comes to having that rapid trigger functionality, where if you're gonna press on a key and you release it and then press it again without releasing the keystroke all the way, where it resets the actuation to give you a faster response time, that of course the Wooting is going to have the advantage. But honestly speaking, this is a pretty nice keyboard for the price with pretty unique features by having those OmniPoint switches that are very adjustable, not customizable though because you can't pull them out, you can't lube them. $240 seems a little steep. It really does. I would like to see this keyboard, realistically speaking, at no more than $200 for a wireless keyboard that has these type of features. And the fact that this is just so much smaller than the full-size Apex Pro for $200 and the TKL version, the Apex Pro TKL, that is also $180, that just doesn't really sit that well with me as far as pricing goes. The product is great, but the pricing definitely needs some help. So I would like to see this keyboard again at no more than $200. Really, it would be great if it was $180 for the wireless version. And then for the wired version, I would love to see that keyboard at like $140. Performance-wise, the keyboard does perform very well, and it does give you that wireless functionality, so really no complaints there. But I do want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys enjoy, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you again for watching Too Much Tech, and let me know what you guys' thoughts are on the SteelSeries Apex Pro Mini, the wireless version or the wired version. By now, a couple of months after release, do you guys have one of these keyboards on your desk, and how are you liking it so far? But thank you again for watching. I will see you in the next video.